What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Chapter 4. Let's get ready for it. This will probably be the second, or the first rather, get ready for chapter 4 video I'll probably make a second one. We'll see. Move my face back over. All right. Similarly to, if you remember what we did in chapter 2, we talked a little bit about graphing. We talked a lot about graphing. So we're going to have to make sure that we understand how to graph again. A lot of this chapter is about graphing a bunch of points to create a line. So let's just graph these points again. So gentle reminder, if I give you a point in this form, I got a number and then another number. If it's a positive first number or a positive x value, you go right. If it's a negative x value, you go left. If it's a positive y value, the first number or the second number, you go up. And if it's a negative y value, the second number, you go down. So A has me going positive 7, positive 10, which means right 7, up 10, and put a dot right there. B has me going don't move, up 4. That's going to be my B. First number is 0, which means don't move. Second number is 4. That means up 4. Third number point is negative 1, 10, which means left 1, down 10. Call it C. Fourth point is negative 6, which means left 6, down 6, left 6, down 6. 10, 0 has me going right 10 and not moving. What do we call that? E. F is 9, 7, which means right 9, up 7. G has me at negative 3, negative 4, which means left 3, down 4. That's G. H has me at negative 4, negative 9, which means left 4, down 9. That is there. So that's H. I is 4, 1, right? So that's right 4, up 1. And last but not least, J is 7, negative 9, right 7, down 9. That's going to be J. All right. Good job, everybody. Good. If you remember from chapter 2, we talked about moving points or moving pictures. Moving pictures, also known as movies. Oh, describe the animation. Describe the translation from the red to the blue. I want to explain how we got from there to there. Well, it says translation, which means it moved. So let me pick a point on this graph here. I'm going to pick the tippy top of the house. So if I'm going to compare the red to the blue, I have to pick the tippy top of that house. How do I get from the red to the blue? I go up 1, 2, left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I went left 5, up 2. Okay. If we were to use what's called mapping notation, we would say the left is 5. No. Sorry. All right. We would say x becomes x minus 5 because left 5 is taking the x value, and y becomes y plus 2. Just another way of writing out what we already wrote out. You don't have to write out both. You don't have to say left 5 and up 2, and x becomes x minus 5, and y becomes y plus 2. But, whatever you want to do is whatever you want to do. Oh, I can barely see it. Describe the translation. Now, which one do I start out with, the blue or the red? Well, if you're colorblind, you wouldn't be able to tell anyway. You would just say the gray to the gray. Haha. Oh, no, this guy doesn't have apostrophes known as primes, and that guy does, which means this is my first shape. So let's take the R. Since I wrote all over the R, let's take the R. I'm going to put a dot there and a dot there. So how do I get there? I go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be right 6 down 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if you want to put it in mapping notation, x becomes x plus 6 and y becomes y minus 4. Same thing, just another way of writing it out. It's weird, just a bunch of random subtraction problems. I don't know why that is. If you are subtracting, okay, and you have, in this case, a double negative, that double negative becomes a positive. So -8 minus -6 is actually the same thing as -8 plus 6. So I owe $8. I get $6. I'm still going to owe $2. Okay. If you have a negative and a positive and you're adding, you subtract the numbers. And since negative is more powerful here, you keep it negative. 8 minus 7 is just 8 minus 7. Nothing crazy there. I have -8 or -1 minus 10. A negative minus a number is just making it more negative. So I owe $10 or I owe $1 to somebody, and someone's now taking away $10 more from me. I'm now going to owe $11. It's like if you get a bill, like you all pay your cellular, telephone, mobile device bills, and you owe $1 on your bill, and you don't pay it. And then a new bill comes for now you owe $10 more. Well, you owe a grand total of $11. There's that double negative again. If you see a double negative, make it positive. And 2 plus 2 is 4 last time I checked. So in this chapter, we're going to be dealing with something called the slope formula, which is going to involve a lot of subtraction. If you don't have a calculator, this might help. If you do, then you really don't need this. Also, if you have a calculator, you won't need this. But if you don't want to use a calculator, we need to know how to simplify each fraction. If you look at a fraction and you're looking at any one of them, like the third one, for example, and you're like, well, that's an even number and that's an odd number, I can simplify. What you do is you try to see what you can divide from each number. Take a look at 9, take a look at 12. I know I can divide 3 from each of those, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to divide the top of the numerator by 3, 9 by 3, get 3. And I'm going to divide the bottom one by 3 as well, and that becomes 3/4. You should then be able to look at that and say, I can't go any further because I can't divide the top and the bottom by the same number anymore. I'm done. If you take a look at 3 and 9, you should be able to say, oh, well, I could divide those by 3 too. Divide the top by 3, divide the bottom by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. I could divide by 2, but some of you might notice that you could divide by 3 also. And if you could divide by 2 and 3, that means you could divide by 2 times 3. You could divide the top and the bottom by 6. 24 divided by 6 is 4. 30 divided by 6 is 5. I can't go any further. Done. Now, I keep saying stuff like, oh, I can't go any further. What does that mean? What if you're not thinking? And you look at this and say, I can divide, I don't know. Let's just divide it by 2 and see what happens, because they're both even. Divide by 2, divide by 2. You'll get 30 over 48. I have to think about that one. Now, you might also notice that you could still divide even further. So if you divide by once and you notice that you could divide further, that's fine. I could divide the top and the bottom one by 3. I can also divide the top and the bottom by 2. So that means I can divide the top and the bottom by 6. And when I divide 30 by 6, I get 5. When I divide 48 by 6, I get 8. And I can't go much further than that. Okay? So this should give you the tools necessary, some of the tools necessary to help you understand Chapter 4 a little bit better. I will probably make a Part 2, but right now, Part 1 is donezo. Wrong thing. Donezo. Bye.